Hey everyone, playing some Dawn of War Soulstorm. Back at it again. I haven't made a video in a while, and I will explain that. It's Magic Man Scott 40k. So this is a 1v1 between Dark Eldar and normal Eldar. I'm playing against alou351 on Steam. This is Outer Reaches map, and I think it's a pretty good 1v1. I think this is one of my better replays, and I'll go ahead and explain what I've been doing. There's a pretty big gap in videos, so I'll go ahead and explain that. So a couple of things happened. The first thing was my computer kept telling me I was out of storage space, and I couldn't, I can't do anything without storage space. So that's one reason I haven't made a video in a while. Another reason was I was getting burnt out. After doing Warhammer for so long, I just started to feel burnt out. And another thing that happened, I did get some storage space, so I'm recording again. Another thing that happened was the Skull Festival, which was this huge, massive Warhammer sale. And they also did a bunch of reveals. They showed off all the games they're working on, and they showed off some DLC and all that. And the Skull Festival was amazing. All the sales, all the new games they're working on. Everything that they showed off looked great. So I'm really excited for that. And during the Skull Festival, I did get the Total War trilogy. And I've seen the Total War games are incredibly popular, so I'll be playing those one day. They do take quite a bit of a strain on your computer, and if my storage issue, I don't know which day I'll actually install them. But yeah, Total War player, never played one before. And during the Skull Festival, they went from like $40 to like $15, which is, $40 is a bit over my budget, but 15 is doable. So I got the trilogy, ended up spending like 60. I thought that was a good deal, Also, another thing I want to mention before I start the video, there's a couple things I want to mention. Because of the Skull Festival, we actually have new players. So if you guys are playing Dawn of War and booting it up and playing online, you'll run into some new players. I just got done being on Reddit, answering advice. People were asking people for advice on Reddit. So I did that for a while. I did that for a couple days, giving people advice. Now, I'm not a master at this game or anything, but I feel like I can give people advice. Another thing that happened was during the Skull Festival, there was a Dawn of War tournament. I think it's on Blast Furnace's channel. So if you want to see a Dawn of War tournament, check that out. I might make videos about that. I'm not sure yet. I did try out the balance mod. The balance mod is pretty fun. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's pretty confusing. But it is a pretty fun mod, and you should check it out. And yeah, so the tournament happened. I ran out of storage space. I've been applying for jobs, real life stuff. And off camera, I have been doing Dawn of War stuff. I got a couple new replays. So I have been playing offline. I just don't show you guys. It's not very, it's not boring. I mean, I haven't made a video in a while, so my audio setup might be off. My audio might be wrong. I'm hoping the audio is okay. And yeah, I guess that's it. This is a 1v1 between me and Eldar. And I'll tell you now, I guessed the whole time. So I know a lot of matchups. I talk about matchups and all that on my other videos. I have no idea the Dark Eldar versus Eldar matchup. Couldn't tell you. So I have no idea what to do. So I think it's a pretty good replay. Also, I do like this map. Outreaches. Outreaches is a pretty fun map. You can easily snowball. This is a map you can easily snowball on, which makes it interesting. Usually whoever snowballs first wins, but it's pretty fun. I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and start it. I'll go ahead and try to make the fights more interesting, and I'll explain my decisions. With all the new players out there, you know, I'll try to make it new player friendly. And yeah, I will say while I was doing offline stuff, I noticed most new player lobbies were actually veterans. So that's something to watch out for. If you join a new player lobby, there's like I would say there's a 60% chance it's actually a veteran. Like more than 50% chance. It's pretty good chance it's a veteran and not a new player. And yeah, so Dark Eldar is my main. I think I have the most hours on Dark Eldar. Eldar I have like 2 hours on, so I couldn't tell you how they worked. And yeah, I got other replays I can do. The tournament happened, so yeah. Here you go. Here's some gameplay. I'm hoping everything's alright. You know, the audio's alright. You know, everything's working out for you. And yeah, it's a Hall of Blood opening. Again, I just started guessing. There are a few players out there who have more hours than me on Dark Eldar, so I'm not like a master or anything. I think either Blast Furnace or there's a couple other players out there who have way more hours than me on Does it sound alright? Oh well. Anyways, there's a couple players out there who have more hours than me. So, double Guardian opening, pretty normal. Bone Singer, 1 generator. Usually they do 2 generators. Farseer, so you'll see some Farseer action. And I think with Dark Eldar, you always want the Archon. I think you should always have a commander when it comes to Dark Eldar, because they just hit so hard. And I do think Dark Eldar has some of the best commanders. So Dark Eldar, they're early to mid game, really strong. Their late game is where it kind of struggles. So basically with Dark Eldar, you definitely want to finish the game before it gets any crazy.
Mine is the right to lead.
So I got 1 builder. I put the builder right next to the listening post, as you can see here. That, you know, build up some speed. First fight, I try to deny this area. This area here is very critical. This is like whoever controls this usually wins. Warlock's a nice choice. Detects my Mandrakes and also hits. The Warlock hits pretty hard. The first fight here, I'm still capping the map. I can't afford to stop. I need the resources. So here we're both in the red. It looks pretty bad. Mandrake's down. Can't afford to reinforce them. Both Guardians are alive. Detection, it's a no. infiltration upgrade. Dark Reapers on the field. Commander again in the red. So pretty bad. And again, I'm really just making this up as I go. This was me just improvising. Farseer is still alive. And that's pretty bad, because the longer she's alive, the more of a problem she becomes. So I have to kill her like right now, or she becomes a big problem later on. Here I just kind of run around, putting pressure on my opponent. They still have commander armor, so even in the red, you know these guys aren't strong enough. Even with my commander almost dead. Here I try to do a sneaky kill. I think this was a micro mistake by the Eldar player. You could have easily saved the Farseer, hit her somewhere, and then use the ability. But yeah, because of the commander armor, I can just sit in this heavy cover and be fine. Even with my commander in the red, I'm totally fine. So I picked that fight. I picked that fight on purpose. But I think the Farseer was a misclick. So Eldar should be in a winning position right now. They have the heavy cover. They have all this. They have better builders than me. They can teleport around the map. So I think, and they have detection too. So I think as of right now, I have a pretty big disadvantage. Dark Reapers, I have no answer for Dark Reapers, except for maybe Hellions, but I don't have the building for Hellions. And again, I was really just making this up as I go. But as you can see here, it's not like a new player or anything. It's a pretty skilled Eldar player, I think. Here I get the infiltration upgrade because I thought I'm pretty sure I killed the Warlock, but I don't know. Maybe I did. Oh no, the Warlock's still there. But it's a cheap upgrade. It upgrades your entire Mandrakes. And even at tier 4, you're going to be making Mandrakes because they're just good. So I just went ahead and upgraded them. Here I'm on the defensive. I tried to harass this area here, but now they know about it. They're defending it. Here I'm capturing my enemy's relic. Dark Eldar special ability is fast capture rate, so capturing the map pretty easy for me. Upgraded listening post. This upgraded just in time for this fight. This upgraded right before the fight started. Now I would say Eldar's one weakness is buildings. So this one building should be a huge problem. And I do think this is one of the best buildings in the game. I do think Dark Eldar's listening post is probably the best building in the game. So something to watch out for. This player noticed that I captured the map pretty good on them. I think it tells you. I think if you capture the relic, everyone gets a message. Every player on the map gets a message saying you captured a relic. Huge army here. Big army here. Warlock, Dark Reapers, full health Farseer. I don't really have anything impressive. Here I kind of built a turret. Dark Eldar turrets are pretty cheap, so I just went ahead and built like a small turret. And again, Eldar's one weakness, I would say, is buildings. So here I'm building spamming, which might be scummy. Took down the listening post, couldn't decap it. This is in the red. So right now I should have an economy advantage, but Eldar has a way bigger military advantage, 100%. that building there has like no health. So the fact it took that long to take down is surprising. That building there has like no armor or anything. Getting my souls going. Mostly for the morale ability and detection. If they do make rangers, I can spot the rangers, you know. So souls are nice. It's a cheap upgrade. But yeah, here I was really just improvising. I think at this point I try to capture the critical, try to start the map countdown. Because it is active. You can see here that the critical location win condition is active. So I decided to go for that. Maybe I can outlast them. See here you can see I have a pretty massive military disadvantage. I do get the commander weapon. Commander weapon's pretty good. And now I'm tier 2. So it's a 9-minute tier 2. Pretty slow tier 2. That's what? 2 fights? 2 or 3 fights. Got my vehicle factory going. Trying to spend this power. And this building here wouldn't fit in my base. So I was like, oh, okay, screw it. I'll just put it here. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter where you put it, as long as it's up and going. Here I just, for some reason the Farseer was in the front. Usually you want the Farseer in the back. But I noticed the Farseer was in the front, so I just focused her down. Not too difficult. Got Homunculus out in the field. Harlequin absolutely counters me. It counters my whole army. Nothing I can really do about that. Falcon is a huge pain. Nothing I can really do against the Falcon. Here I instantly get anti-vehicle. Instead of getting Scourges. Scourges are expensive. Scourges are really, really expensive. So I just went ahead and got the Dark Lance add-on. So now it's anti-vehicle. Here I made some cheap jet bikes. This is just so... I made these to force them to make fire dragons. I made these to force them... This is a very cheap vehicle. And fire dragons are super expensive. So basically I forced them to buy an expensive unit. And again, I have the economy advantage, as you can see here. And with the Falcon, really should be taking the map back. Even the Harlequin destroys buildings, no problem. So really, it should be taking the map back by now. Looks like they got the infiltration upgrade on the webway gate. Eldar doing Eldar things. There you go, infiltration upgrade. Now they're starting to teleport around the map. If Eldar can teleport everywhere, there's pretty much no way I can win. I can't deal with, you know, teleporting all the time. There's just no way I can beat that. Here I make a squad of witches. Witches are always good. Damage boost, detection. I think witches are just always good in any army. Here I make the Talos. Mostly as tank. The Talos has a crap ton of health. It takes like 10 rockets to kill it. And 10 rockets is a lot. It takes about 10 rockets or so to kill it. So I made the Talos just a tank. I think my Archon fully healed. Or I bought a new one. I think my bodyguard survived. And I just bought a new Archon. So here we do like a base trade. Get a cheeky man trait kill on the Bone Singer. Here we do a bit of a base trade. Eldar is faster though, So there's no real, you know, Eldar's faster, so I'm not gonna win the base trade. This is just so much firepower. There's just absolutely nothing. Building goes down instantly. This is one of the best buildings in the game. Just goes down instantly. This is my tier 2 building. It's going down pretty quick. Not as quick as the listening post, but it's still going down pretty quick. Here I ruined Eldar. Eldar already had a pretty bad economy, and I just made it worse. So here I'm just making the economy worse and worse. This is basically an economy victory, not a military victory. See, you see these Dark Lances tearing this vehicle up, and it's so much cheaper than buying Scourges. It is so much cheaper. See, there we go. One vehicle down. And that was 50 points. Scourges are like 160. So again, Eldar definitely has the military lead. I think that's a Harlequin or no, Fire Dragons. Fire Dragons versus Archon. Archon upgraded. Homunculus upgraded. Again, base trade. And I do have a small army. I do have a small army over here. I made Hellions to start the countdown. That's the only reason. I only made Hellions to start the countdown. Witches detect the webway gate, so no problem detecting. I used the morale ability to help win that fight. I don't know how high Eldar's morale is, but I know it's pretty high. Here I just have complete map control. Just complete and utter map control. I do end up killing the Bone Singers. Bone Singers are dead. And that's it.
3 minutes.
That's a win for me. It was basically a map victory. And you can see the countdown. It's at 3 minutes. I think it starts out at 8. So for 6 minutes, this was up. So I had pretty good map control. And Dark Eldar is not a map control faction by any means. It's definitely 100% not a map control faction. So for me to get map control was pretty impressive. So again, Eldar, military advantage, speed advantage. They won every fight. And somehow I got the economy victory. I did lose my tier 2 building. My tier 2 building went down. So if this fight kept on going, I wouldn't be able to make any more tier 2 units. And I can't even go tier 3. I can't hit the tier 3 button. I can't hit the tier 3 button until I make a new building. Until I make a new building over here. So yeah, turret went down. I made some a bunch of Talos. I think this is the third one. I made 3 Taluses. Again, just for tanking, really, not really for fighting. I think the grav tank, the Falcon grav tank, can kill this. So this is just one big. It was just one big distraction. That's all it really was. And Eldar buildings are pretty fragile, and the Talos can destroy them no problem. So I sent the Talos in during the fight over here. I didn't want my vehicles getting destroyed by the fire dragons, so I sent all my vehicles over here. And if they had a turret, all my vehicles would have died. But I thought it was worth it. But yeah, basically I was able to win mostly because of this building. This building killed like 2 squads in a vehicle. So that's basically how I won that. And here I'm building an HQ. I'm floating like super hard. I got the economy upgrades and everything. I got all the economy upgrades. So I'm floating really, really hard. So I got this one HQ going. And I got this other HQ going. And I I got most of the upgrades. I would say I have half the upgrades. So yeah, that's Dark Eldar versus Eldar. Basically won through map victory, not through fighting. I have no real way of dealing with the Dark Reapers. I don't think I have a single unit that can deal with them. So got super lucky there. I think there was a few micro mistakes here. The fire dragons died pretty quick. And again, fire dragons are super expensive. So I think there's a few micro mistakes here. And the Farseer died twice without getting any kills. So the Farseer, few mistakes there. And another big mistake was keeping this building up. This building was in the red and not destroyed. So having this building up was a big mistake. They could have spent a couple seconds to destroy it. You know? Destroy the building, decap it. It'll only take like a couple seconds. So that's another big mistake there. But yeah, I was just guessing for that entire match. I didn't have a plan at all. That was me just guessing on the fly. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll show you the end screen. If this video does well, I will make more and maybe make videos about the tournament. We'll see. So I got a higher score, higher economy, but Eldar definitely had a better military than me. I think the Harlequin was a good choice. Pretty even amount of kills. Our kills were. I lost 2 squads of mandrakes at the beginning. So, right at the start of the game, I lost 2 squads of mandrakes, and I think I lost a third one about halfway through the match. So I lost about 10 mandrakes throughout the match. Yeah, they said GG. The host, the name of the lobby was mid-level 1v1. That's not like a high level fight or a newbie fight or anything. I would say that's right. I would say this is a mid-level, action. If you guys want higher level action, I think I have a couple of replays of that. But yeah, Dark Eldar versus Eldar on Outer Reaches. I don't know how many videos of that are there. I bet it's rare. This is a pretty rare matchup. Outer Reaches is not the most popular map, so I'm guessing this is a pretty rare thing that happened. Anyways, I guess that's it. I'm hoping you like this one. Let me know if this is okay or not. And yeah, there's this big influx of new players. So if you see new players online, there's actually a pretty good chance that they're actually new and not faking it. Most players I ran into were faking that they were new. But with this Skull event, I think there is actually new players. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. That's a 1v1 for you. And yeah, signing off. See ya. Bye.